First day of pads for you guys, how do you think they perform? How the guys did?
First day in pads is a step in the right direction. It's still a lot of growth to be done. You know what I'm saying? Just consistency and our pass pro and our leverage and even how we finish runs, be a little bit more decisive. Like for day one it was solid, but still not where you want to be yet.
These days are they being in full pads for your group in particular? Do you feel like you learn more, emphasize more on full pad type of days?
To be honest with you, for our group, once you put shoulder pads on, it's like it's full pads. A lot of times, even when you're hitting the hole, linebackers are fitting the run, you're getting some of that thudding right there, so you're kind of only running like it's full pads. The only difference is you're not going to lower the shoulder in anybody, but how you run when the pads come on is kind of consistent. But to them, it's the most realistic thing to do because that's how we play. If you don't have shoulder pads on, it's not, for us, it's not real. So it makes it more real. You get more out of it in pass pro, even in the run game, when you get to have the equipment on.
Damien's not here anymore. Jordan Lyle is a guy that really kind of flashed at times last year. Is there now, as he's going into year two, in the running back room, like a sense of urgency to get him to really bust out this year?
Yeah, I think the sense of urgency is there for everybody. It's important. We lost Dame. Dame had a great year, but they know that the next guy's up, the next man's up, and whoever's in that room falls in line with that. So whether it's Jordan, it's Mark, whether it's Chris Wheatley, whether it's Terrell Walden, or even Gerard Pringle, like it's all of them. They got to be able to step up. And in order to be able to get that done, you got to be consistent in the things that you do on a daily basis, from the film study, learning the installs, how you practice, and everything. So yeah, Jordan fits in that mold, and obviously a lot's expected from him, but he's still got some ways to go in a lot of the areas that he's working on.
Kind of similarly with Mark, this is now his third year here, and it's a chance for him to kind of take on that lead role after playing with Henry and Damien last year. So how have you seen him grow both physically and on the field, and also kind of mentally taking on that leadership?
Well, for him, he's really reshaped his body, which has been good, and obviously the fact that this is his first spring ball.
Yeah.
Obviously the first spring, he was still in high school, couldn't leave early, and then last year he was dealing with the injury. So for him to actually have a first spring for the first time has been huge for him in his development. He's trying to take a lot of steps in the leadership part, which he has. A lot of guys follow him. A lot of guys believe in him. He has that clout, right, like the kids say, and he's really starting to run with it, right? I think we're really, as a staff, we're really trying to push the leadership with the older guys. We use guys like Cam, right? We use guys like Jalen Rivers, some of those leaders in offense, looking for other guys to step up and hoping that Mark will end up being one of them.
Louis Humphreys obviously put some work into his body.
Yes.
How has that transformed him, or has it, as a player?
It's just giving him a lot more confidence, especially in pass pro and how he finishes runs. Being 170 last spring and now being almost 200 pounds, huge difference. And he feels it too. And he's still kind of getting used to running with the extra weight. And every now and then you see him kind of stumbling a little bit, but he's gotten pretty used to it. I think with him, from a confidence boost, and when you got that extra weight, extra strength on, I really got to block this 240-pound Mike linebacker in A-gap. It feels a little bit different than when you're 170.
You mentioned pass pro quite a bit. Who do you feel like's been your most consistent pass pro this year?
Mark, obviously one of the older guys. Jordan has always been solid at it. Again, with all of those guys, so things work on hand placement, whether it's leverage, whether it's their feet. But those two there, Chris has taken huge strides in it. Terrell Walden, even himself, has had some positives in it. Obviously, Pringle is new, so usually for rookies coming in, that's their one biggest area of growth. When you're the best running back in high school, in your high school team, not pass pro, you're running the ball 30 times a day. But
I know you've coached all over the country and recruited all over the country. Guys like Mark, Jordan, other guys who may not be able to talk about yet, you've recruited a lot of Broward running backs. What have you noticed about Broward County, South Florida style running, from those guys?
Just really the mentality with how they play, and it just comes with how they were raised and the area they're in. They're highly, highly, highly competitive. And they're extremely aggressive in a positive way, and they know how to use that aggression to their advantage on the field. I've always enjoyed that part of it.
How's Gerard Pringle look?
Good. For a rookie coming in, he's picked up the offense pretty well. Just still getting used to the speed and learning, understanding that I can't just outrun everybody, right? Got to be able to run between the tackles, make my reads, but it's been positive so far. Again, for him, so a ton of growth.
From a numbers standpoint, when what's the amount of numbers for running backs that you're comfortable with having for navigating the season?
Yeah, I think anywhere from about 4 to 6, right? Obviously, you're constantly evaluating to see how much depth you need. Obviously, we have some other guys on the team that have a skill set that can help out there as well. But, in the ideal world, you're probably looking at 5 in the real world, We're sitting at 5 right now with Walden. Probably, depending on how the eval goes, we'll see if we decide to add another one at the end of the spring or not, We'll have that conversation when that time comes. But I feel pretty good at where it's at now, but you're always looking to upgrade and improve the depth of the room, especially given how violent the position is that we play.
How tough of it is it? Obviously last year you guys had a stable of guys who probably get started a bunch of different teams, who decided to leave after last season because maybe they felt like they weren't playing enough or whatever. But how hard is it to keep that 5 running back room of guys who all can step in and contribute?
Just got to be real with them. Honest. Listen, I can't play all of y'all. Obviously, all of you guys are good enough to play. You kind of earn it, throughout camp and throughout the week, and you just have to be ready when your number is called. There's a couple of guys last year that probably didn't anticipate having to play in a game, went in and played, and had an impact. So you just have to be real with them. You can't sugarcoat it. You got to acknowledge that I know you all can play, you all want to play. I can't play 5 guys. It's hard to play 3 guys, right? But you just have to make sure that every single day you're coming to work, doing the things that you have control over to the best of your ability so that when your number does get called, you're ready to go. I think if you are honest and real with them with that, it allows them to at least stay engaged with it, as opposed to just saying, hey, it's just these 2 and you're probably never going to play, right? But also, there's times I win the games, listen, man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to you, but just stay ready. But again, just be honest with those guys. I think the kids nowadays just appreciate you being upfront and real.
From a size standpoint, how much has Jordan changed since he arrived? And how much weight?
He's probably put on about 8 pounds of muscle. Really great shape in his body. Obviously, also as you're older, I don't know how much bigger he will get. I think for him the big thing is just, and with our strength guys and nutrition guys do a great job of making sure that the guys, as they're putting on their size, don't lose their skill set and their quickness and their speed and everything else. So I kind of like where Jordan's at, but it's also still early. We'll see how his body continues to develop here over the next few months.
Going back to Mark Fletcher, you said he reshaped his body. Can you explain what he's done, and then how does it look to you in the practice?
Yeah, I think just leaned out some. He's about the same weight he has been, just leaned out his body a little bit. He's probably laid off some of the barbecue sauce and some of the food that he's eating. But just really trimmed down some, added some muscle on, really leaned out. And I think with that, he's generated a little bit more power with his running ability and his blocking ability.
When it comes to recruiting, what type of player are you looking for?
Say that again?
When it comes to recruiting, what type of player are you looking for from a mental and physical standpoint? And does it kind of change with each cycle?
No, at the end of the day, to play running back is really a few things that you gotta have. You gotta have short area quickness, right? We play in a tight box like this. I gotta be able to maneuver in here. Gotta be able to change direction efficiently. And I gotta be able to run on power, have balance. And then lastly, when I get to the second level, I gotta be able to make guys miss. I have to win one-on-one matchups. So as I'm watching film, I'm constantly looking for that. If it's somebody who had 2,000 yards rushing in high school, but they're just running through wide open holes all day long, it doesn't give you a good clean eval, because awesome as our O-line is, we're not just running through wide open holes all day long. You gotta change direction, you gotta move, you gotta make guys miss. So I'm constantly looking from that. From the mental side of it, I love guys that are really intelligent, and I love guys that just honestly, just truly want to compete. They hate losing more than they love winning, right? And as you're getting to talk to them, you find ways to ask them certain questions, see how they respond, see what their mind is made up of. And are they guys that are constantly trying to get better, or are they guys that are just settled where they are and feel good at where they are because of a 5-star of arrived, or are they guys that just want to constantly improve and get better? Those are really the guys I'm always looking for.
What do you feel like last question from a pass catch?
Some growth from last year. Obviously Coach Dawson's done a good job everywhere he's been of incorporating us in the pass game. Even last year, Damian, what he done in the past compared to what he did with us last year was a huge improvement in his pass game. And I think we've done some growth there, but like with anything else, so early in the spring, I'm always hesitant to say that we're there yet. And to be honest with you, I'll probably never say we're there yet. I'm always constantly looking for the guys to continue to improve in their game in all 3 facets so they can be a true all-around back, right? Awesome that you're a great runner. Well, when you play here at the U, you got to protect the quarterback. You have to. And then also you got to be able to catch out in the backfield. If you can do all of those 3 things, your opportunities to play go up because I don't have to take you off the field, right? And it can leave you on the field more. So that is an area of growth still for us all. that we've grown in, but still need to grow more.